Good evening, and welcome to the last Facebook Live with myself, Ruth. Says that right there, Ruth from Top Schools. Welcome. Thanks for watching. Yep, this is the last. Ask me anything. No agenda. No special guest. We had a great guest, two great guests for you last week. Um, so it is December. I know it's a few days till Christmas, and I know that maybe you don't want to be thinking about school admissions and all of that. But on the other hand, I know that lots of you are because my messages are busy. The phone, I know that the theme of what I want to say to you tonight, um, and I will get to questions, is uncertainty. This is a theme. This has been my theme of the week. So I'll explain the topic of uncertainty. So there's two sides of it. The first side of it is parents who are panicked, disappointed, distressed, where they believed that there was more certainty than there actually is in the whole process. Okay, that's the first part of what I want to speak about. The second part of the uncertainty topic is that now, if you've taken your children, the little ones have mostly been in for a few assessments and the results have been out. And quite a lot of the time, you'll have heard me say this many times, the result is waitlist, wait pool, wait list, same. So now you're in a period of uncertainty, and unfortunately, that period can continue for several months. And for the older children, it will continue for more months after that, sometimes into June, even July, even August. So uncertainty is the theme. If you have any questions, please type them in the comments. I think we're live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, various different platforms. Let me know where you're watching us from. And if you're also watching on replay, I always get to the questions as well. So uncertainty. So the first part is I've spoken to 3 or 4 families this week. And the basic premise of the conversation was that they're flummoxed. They're flummoxed by a result less than what they expected. So, in other words, their child was not completely accepted. In a couple of the cases, the child was in fact outright rejected, and in other cases, the child is sitting on the wait list or the wait pool. So, comments from the parents is it's always interesting to me because I'm so much in it. But is oh well, we thought that it was a slam dunk. Effectively, we just thought because we have X, or because my neighbor applied to this school, or my friend, my cousin, my colleague applied to this school, 3 or 4 of them, and they got in. Why didn't my child get in? I heard things like, "Well, we have a passport. We have a certain passport. We just thought that that meant we would get in." Or, "We live next door to the school. We just thought that means that we would get in." "We listened to our friends." That's a good one. "Our friends told us that if we did X, Y, and Z, we would get in." Mm. So the degree of uncertainty in the whole process is extremely high, I would say, um, unless you have certain priorities. And I spoke to one of these families had sibling priority, and that was the reason that they thought that they would definitely get in. And as they discovered, sibling priority is certainly not a guarantee. So there are no guarantees in this process. There is no certainty and there is no guarantee. And to be very honest, I can't give you that. I can't give you that now. I wish I had a magic wand, and I do find myself saying that to parents quite often. I don't have a magic wand. In fact, I don't know if I do wish that I did. That wouldn't. So, of course, it's better to start earlier and cross your T's and dot your I's and plan for success than to come at it from the other end when you didn't get the result you want. You're trying to backtrack and trying to fix some of the mistakes that you did and try to sort of then put in a plan B. It's obviously much, much easier to do it at the beginning. So if you are starting out and you haven't yet um, realized, you if fortunately, if you are not yet in a state of distress or disappointment, um, then you can avoid that. You know, you have the option to plan properly and make sure that you're not in that position in another 12 months' time. And I know, like, a lot of you guys probably think I'm mad to be saying that you need to plan for 2025 entry now, but I'm not mad. At least I don't think I am. So, of course, earlier is better than later. And wouldn't you rather preempt? You know, some of these parents, they are smart, professional, you know, top notch intelligence, like far more intelligent than I am. But because I know school admission strategy, I can help you earlier rather than later. So, you know, very, very smart parents in their field make really, really silly mistakes in my field, in school admissions. Really, really obvious silly mistakes. They know it, we all know it, but they made the mistakes regardless, and it's too late. You can't then go back and make it right. So that's the first element of uncertainty. The second element of uncertainty that I want to talk about is that if you have brought your child to an assessment in the last month or 6 weeks or so, and you are waiting for a result, you're waiting for a second interview, you have received the result, which is a wait list, that means you're still waiting, then you're living with a lot of uncertainty, and as am I. Imagine I'm doing it, like, 50 times um, on behalf of all my families. So I sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and think, oh my goodness, what about this child or that child? Or so I've been dealing with a lot of trying to discuss with the parents that it's okay. If you got a wait list result, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, and it certainly isn't definitely a no. So if you've got a wait list, consider that actually you're in a better situation than those other parents who got a flat no. Um, Always try to look on the bright side, right? So waitlist means it could go on for months and months and months, and different schools have different policies around whether or not how long the wait list remains active, whether it rolls over automatically to another year, whether or not your child has to do some of the assessment next year, all of the assessment next year, etc., etc. So, yes, all I can say is that you're not alone. We are all living with a great deal of uncertainty where we just don't know, and that can actually go on for many months. The thing is, I guess the difference is, do you have a plan? Is it kind of what you expected? If it comes completely out of the blue and you weren't prepared for this result, then I can understand that then the emotions run high. So I guess it's also, again, goes back to the earlier aspect, that it's about managing expectations as well, and that's what we do in our group calls each week. You know, we all understand that there are no guarantees. So yeah, this can go on for many months, and for the older children who've not yet been in for assessments, or some of them have, some of them are going in January, even February. So this degree of uncertainty can run through. We get results for children to go into a school in August, July, June. It happens. So that's sort of what I wanted to say around uncertainty. There is no guarantee. Just because you have a priority, or just because you think you're a very good fit for the school, does not mean that your son or daughter will get in. So please, please, please do not only apply to one school. I've been saying this for a dozen years. People still do. Does anyone have any questions for me? So this is the last broadcast for 2023. Um, I'm exhausted. I don't know about you. I was crawling on my hands and knees with 3-year-olds this morning. And yeah, um, I'm gonna not do this next week, and I'm back on the, is it the 3rd or the 4th? The 4th. I think it's the 4th of January. So this is your last chance to ask me anything related to Hong Kong school admissions, UK school admissions, um, assessments, applications, wait lists, wait pools, any questions at all. It's been fun. Do you know, I started this regular, almost weekly. I've missed a couple, got stuck in traffic once, did it from my car once. I was sick once. I was too exhausted once. But I think more or less I've been doing this weekly since April. And so that was a sort of a new discipline that I started in April. And I'm going to continue because I do get a lot of feedback. I think a lot of you are a bit shy, but I do get a lot of positive feedback. So thank you for watching. And I see the results. I see the views and the clicks, and I get, lots of you booking calls off the back of these little live sessions. I do often, frequently, like right now, feel like I'm talking to myself, but I know that you're out there. I can see the numbers and I can see the viewers. And so it's been fun. I started doing this in April, and I will continue to do it almost every week on a Thursday at 6 p.m. And we've got a few guests lined up already. So generally, you get me for about 3 times in the month, and then a guest once a month, something like that. If you know anyone who would like to come on, if they'd like to share their expertise around education, parenting, schooling, admissions, then let me know. I'm happy to invite guests on. So we've got a good guy coming on next month who's going to talk about giving your child the gift of challenge, which is related to stretching and challenging very able children, of which we have many in Hong Kong. And then I'm also lining up some guests for February. So um, hi, so this is a question about boarding school in the UK. So sorry, I can't see your name. You need to give the platform permission, but I'll be able to see it later. Um, that means your son has a visa to be a normal permanent resident in the UK. Is that correct? Maybe you could just. So in the UK, when we talk about boarding schools, we don't often talk about state boarding schools, but they do exist. There's a few of them. They used to be very much catered, and they still do cater for the military families, but they also cater for anyone really, any UK resident. So the parent has answered yes. So if your child has a visa to be ordinarily resident in the UK, probably not BNO. There might be a caveat with the BNO, but otherwise, that probably visa, ordinarily resident. I think they have to be. Look, actually, I'm not the best. I don't do state boarding schools. Check if you need to be a British national, or whether ordinarily resident is also enough. The fact is, the state boarding schools, there are not very many of them. They are quite different to the private boarding schools, but then, of course, they're extremely different in their pricing structure. So a state boarding school will have no tuition fee, and they will only charge the parents for board. So board includes food and lodgings and such. There aren't very many of them, about 6 to 8 of them, I think, last time I had a look. So it would just be a question of picking a few and applying. It's not really what I do. My expertise is much more with the private boarding schools, of which there are hundreds. So thank you for asking. I'm really sorry. I'm probably not the best person to advise on that. But wish you all the best. If I can help in any way, let me know. I mean, boarding schools in the UK, it's not too late, by the way. If you're looking for a boarding school in the UK for 2024, you definitely still have time. I have been speaking with a number of families this week that are looking to send their children. You normally year 9, year 7 for the girls sometimes, but a lot of parents feel that that's actually quite young to go away. Otherwise, year 9 is a perfect time to start UK boarding school. Year 10 is okay. Year 11's really not great at all, and year 12 is a good time to start as well, and that's to do with the different exam structures in the UK. So, um, thanks for your question. Any other questions about Hong Kong schools or UK schools? Wow, I've managed to waffle on for about 20 minutes, so and you're still there. So, um, any more questions? Going once, going twice. There are always questions after I say goodbye. But anyway, we'll have a lovely Christmas. Have a wonderful holiday, Christmas break. I hope that you can take some time off school and spend some time with your little ones. The weather's beautiful. Take them out, take them running, take them jumping, take them climbing. Swimming might be a bit cold, but some kids don't mind. Yeah, get out there, make the best of what Hong Kong has to offer in terms of the outdoors, because we don't get a lot of time where it's as beautiful as this to be outdoors. So I wish you a wonderful Christmas. There's an email dropping in your inbox tomorrow. And if you could give me the best Christmas present that you could ever give me, it's going to take you 2 minutes to do it online, and that'll drop into your email tomorrow. So there's a little teaser for you. I would be eternally grateful. So thank you. And I'm going to sign off. I will see you in January. Okay. Goodbye. Bye.